Hello folks, this is Ted White, and today I'm going to show you how to create rolling text in CapCut PC like you see here. Now this is a very long, detailed tutorial made to challenge beginners. So if you're a beginner, please let me know how you fare in the comments below. Let's check it out. Alright folks, so the first thing we're going to do today is import the background we'll be doing the editing with. So I'm going to select this file right here and click open. From there I'm going to drag and drop this background down to the timeline. Now I did find this background on pixabay.com and I will leave a link in the description below if you'd like to follow along. From there I'm going to select text, so I'm going to go up to the text tab here and then I'm going to click on default text, hold the click, drag and drop it down to the timeline. And then I'm going to click back on the background here and then I'm going to go over and I'm going to zoom in on the timeline. So just by hitting the plus here once, okay? And then I'm going to click on the edge of the background click and hold it and then drag it so that it hits 10 seconds, okay? So there we are. Oops, it's 10:02. I have trouble, I kind of fidget at the end here. Okay, that's 10 seconds. Then I'm going to click on the text box, the red text box. I'm going to click on the edge of that, hold it, and drag this so that it's the same size as the background, okay? And you see the blue vertical line there. So the next thing we're going to do is under text, under basic, you're going to see default text. So I'm going to backspace on that. So I'm going to highlight it, backspace, and then delete it. And then I'm just going to type in all uppercase GOLD, gold. Okay. I'm going to highlight the gold. I'm going to select Control C at the same time to copy it. And then I'm going to hit return, okay, on my keyboard. And then I'm going to type in Control V 4 more times. So I want 5 of them. So return, Control V, return, Control V, return, Control V. Okay, so now we got 5 of them. That's what I want. So we're going to go from basic to effects. I'm going to click on effects and then I'm going to scroll down until I see a free gold art. Okay. So I'm going to keep on going down until we see the free one, which is right here. This is the one I'm looking for. Okay, so it looks like that. I'm going to go from effects back to basic, and then I'm going to go to font, and I'm just going to type in the search for text. I'm going to put IMPACT. That's impact. Enter, and then I'm going to select this impact right here. From there, I'm just going to scroll down a little bit to where I see character. Now, character spacing here is just the space in between like the G and the O and the O and the L and the L and the D. So I'm just gonna make it, instead of 0, I'm gonna bring it up to 1 so that there's a little bit of space in here, and that will help us throughout this tutorial. All right, from there, I'm gonna click on one of the 4 white dots here and I'm going to click and hold it and drag it so that it basically makes this as big as it can be without being cut off at all. So there, that looks perfect to me. What I'm going to do is make sure that the text box is highlighted and I'm going to right click on it and select create compound clip. Okay, and then I'm going to right click on the compound clip and select copy, and then I'm going to right click above the compound clip and select paste. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to the original compound clip, highlight that, the one that's above the background, so this one right here. I'm going to go to video and then I'm going to scroll down a little and then you're going to see this blend. You're going to maximize it here and then you're going to see opacity and just go to the 100, highlight it, backspace and put 50 and enter. Okay, and then what we're going to want to do is select the top compound clip. You're going to want to go to video and then you're going to want to go to mask. Okay, and then you can go add mask and you can make it Filmstrip. All right, and then what you're going to want to do is select the rotation icon, and you're going to want to click on it and hold the click and drag. And you're going to want to drag it until it's minus 90 degrees, okay? And then release. And then the next thing we're going to want to do is select one of the handles. So select one of these white handles, and then we're just going to drag it. So you click on it, hold, and drag it so that it makes it smaller, okay? And then we're actually just going to try and mask this G, all right? And we don't want to cut off any of the G, and we also don't want to take any of the O's with us. So we don't want to cut off any of the G. We want the whole G, but we don't want it so much that we take the O. So what we're going to do, just to do this a little more accurately, is we're going to zoom in on the preview screen. So you just hit the zoom icon, and then you select the cursor, hold the click, and drag it right, okay? And then we just want to be in the middle. So this is perfect. It's in the middle of the O and the G, and it's not cutting off any of the G, okay? So I'm gonna go back to the zoom icon. I'm gonna select the cursor, hold it, and then I'm gonna go back to the regular screen, which is this little vertical white line there, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're gonna go from mask, we're gonna go to basic, okay? And then we are going to drag this bottom G up to the top and kind of make it so that it kind of matches the top G. It doesn't have to be perfect, but what does need to take place is that we need to see this blue vertical line, and that blue vertical line means that our horizontal is in the same location. We want to keep our horizontal as close as possible. We want the G to be horizontally. We don't want the G to be over here or over here. We want it to be right here, okay, in line with the other ones. So what we're going to do is add a keyframe. So that we're going to add a keyframe right here for position. So we're going to start right here, and it's going to automatically add a keyframe on the timeline for position, okay? And this is where we're going to start, and then we're going to take the playhead, we're going to click on it and hold the click and drag it to 3 seconds, okay? And then we're going to release, and what we're going to do here is drag this down, and we're going to drag it down, and this is easier. We're going to drag it down until the horizontal and the vertical blue lines are both there, and then we're going to release, and that means that's the point that we want to end off on, okay? So that's perfect. That's the middle of the screen. Another way of seeing that is you could just put position here. You could put 0 on the X and 0 on the Y, okay? And that will get us back to the regular position. All right, so the next step here is we're going to do the exact same step that we did for the G, for the O, for the L, and for the D. So it is a little bit time consuming, but it's good skills to learn here. So I'm going to take the playhead, I'm going to go to the beginning, I'm going to right click on the compound clip, and then I'm going to select copy at the top here. And then I'm going to select paste. And then what I'm going to do is go to video and then mask, and Filmstrip will already be highlighted, and I'm just going to drag this over here. And this is perfect the way it is. So I can already see we don't need to zoom in. This is fitting perfectly. So I'm just going to click off of it, okay? And then the mask is done. So since we're done with the mask, we're going to go to basic, and we're going to change the position. So instead of starting at the top here, we're going to actually start at the bottom, okay? But the thing with this is, remember, we want to keep our horizontal the same, all right? So if we see that blue line, then we're good. Now, it doesn't matter if this O is a little further off and not matching the O in back here. That doesn't matter as long as the horizontal is fine and we see this blue vertical line. Okay, so we're good there for position. And then if we press play, this is automatically, they're both going to stop at the same area, which is great. Okay, so they both have the same endpoint, and that's all that matters. All right, so I am going to copy this. Okay, so I'm going to make sure the playhead's at the beginning over here. I'm going to copy this compound clip, and then I'm going to select paste above that. And then we're going to go to video, and we're going to rinse and repeat for the L. So we're just going to go to mask, and then we're going to bring the mask over here. And then what we're going to do is you're going to actually have to click and drag on the white line and drag it up or down. Sometimes, depending on where you are, you're going to have to find the handles, okay? And then obviously we're going to have to make this thinner because this might take some of the O and some of the D along with the L, and that would be ugly. So I'm going to go to zoom, and I'm going to zoom in so we can do this more accurately. Now we lost our handles. Oh my gosh, what do we do? Well, do you see this blue rectangle here? We put the hand on the blue rectangle and we zoom down till we see our handles, okay? And then that's how you zoom on the preview screen, okay? Is you use this blue rectangle and the hand, all right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the handle, and I'm just gonna make them thinner to a point where we're in the middle of the L and the D and the O and the L. Okay, we're good. So I'm gonna select zoom because the mask is where I want it to be. So I'm gonna select zoom. I'm gonna click on the cursor here, hold the click, and drag it back to the original screen, okay? The original screen size. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from mask to basic, and then I am going to drag the position. So I'm going to drag the starting position and change it back to the top, okay? And this doesn't have to be perfectly on the L vertically, but it horizontally, we want to see that blue line, okay? So we want to keep the same horizontals for these letters, okay? We don't want them going all over the place. And then this will bring us to our last clip. So I'm going to right click on this and select copy, and then I'm going to right click above this compound clip and select paste, and this will be our final compound clip, and this will be for the D. So I'm going to go to video, mask, and then I'm going to bring this mask over, and I'm going to select the white line, one of the white lines, and I'm either going to pull it down or pull it up until I see the handles, and here are the handles right here. Thank goodness. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in again. So I'll zoom in, and then we lost our handles, but I know that they're up here, so I'm going to click on the blue rectangle and go up, and here are the handles right here. So that's how you zoom on the preview screen, which is a good skill to learn, okay? And then here we have the D. So we are good. This is ideal position. It's in between the L and the D, but it's not cutting either off. All right, so I'm gonna go back to zoom, and then I'm going to select the cursor and go back here to the original position. And then I'm gonna go to from mask to basic. And then for the D, I'm gonna start that one down as well. I don't know what happened there, but it went for a ride. I'm gonna bring it down, and I'll just start this. Once again, the D is gone. There we go. And I'm gonna bring it back, and somewhere around, I just need to make sure it's in the right horizontal so I can see the blue line. Okay, I'm gonna release the click, we're good. All right, so this is good for the compound clip. I'm just gonna play, make sure everything's doing. Notice how this is moving at kind of a similar rate. So I'm gonna change that for us. So I'm gonna show you a little trick here, and here's another skill you're gonna learn in today's tutorial. So what we're gonna do is we are going to bring this keyframe, so this is the D, we're gonna bring this keyframe out a bit, and then we're going to right click on it, and we're gonna select preset curves, and then you're gonna see the cubic out. So for the cubic out, that means that for this, it means it's gonna move faster vertically at the beginning, and then notice how this is more vertical at the beginning, and then it turns more horizontal at the end. So since we're just moving vertically, if this was a straight line as opposed to a curve, it means it would move fast vertically, okay? So this is going to move faster at the beginning because it's more vertical, but then it becomes horizontal, which means it's going to slow down at the end, all right? So for the D, if you look at the D, it moves faster at the beginning and then slows down. And we're going to do the same thing for all of these. So I'm going to select cubic out, and it's going to have the same effect for each one. So I'm going to select this one and then just bring it in a touch, okay? And I'm going to move the playhead to right about there. I'm going to right click on this. I'm going to put preset curves and cubic out, okay? So then the L's kind of doing the same thing. And then I'm going to scroll down to the next one, and I'm going to bring this one so that it's even further than the last. And I'm going to right click, put preset curves and cubic out, okay? And then I'm going to scroll down a little more, click on this, and then just bring this one even a little bit closer so that they're a little bit staggered. I'm going to right click on this and select preset curves and cubic out. So it basically just means instead of moving at the same rate the whole time, it will move faster at the beginning and then slower at the end with this particular preset curve, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just play the whole thing, okay? And it looks a little bit smoother. So the next step here is I'm going to I'm going to highlight the 4 compound clips that we put the keyframes with, and then I'm going to right click on them and select create compound clip. So I'm going to just create one compound clip for those 4. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we are going to go to video, and then we're going to go to mask for that compound clip. We're going to add a mask, and then we are going to go to Filmstrip, okay? And we're not going to turn this around. We're going to select the handle, and we're going to make it small, and we're going to just go in the middle here, the middle one. So this one right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in just to make this more accurate, and I just want to make sure it's in the middle, properly in the middle of these clips. So I'm just going to make it a little bigger, a little wider, maybe zoom in a little more. I don't want to mess around with this one. And yeah, this is, oops. Okay, that's perfect right there. Right there is perfect. So I've got the mask for that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the zoom. I'm going to zoom out back to the regular position. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete this lower clip. Okay, so I'm going to delete the original clip, not the top compound clip. So then I'm going to press play, and it's going to look like that, which is pretty cool. Then what we're going to do after that is we are going to go to effects, and I'm just going to search gold, enter, and gold glitter 2. I'm going to click on this, hold the click, drag and drop it right into the middle of the compound clip here. And then what that's going to do is it's going to give a glitter effect to the gold itself, okay? And then another thing we're going to do is we're going to add another effect. I'm just going to search border, enter, and then I'm going to scroll down until I see stamp border, and I'm going to drag. So I'm going to click on this, hold the click, drag and drop it down to the background clip, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this, And the gold's a little small, so I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. So how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to click off of mask so I'm going to make sure the top clip is highlighted, click off of mask to basic, and then I'm going to go to where the text is actually there and straight, and I am going to click on one of the white dots and make it bigger. So I'm just going to make it like maybe this big, or 175. 160. 160 is good, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is just play. Okay, and then I'll leave some air, and I'm gonna leave it like that, and then I'm going to make sure the top is highlighted, the top clip, and select split. I'm gonna delete this portion, so I selected split, delete this side, and then I'm gonna copy this and paste. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure this one's highlighted, and then I'm going to select reverse, okay? So I'm gonna click on reverse, and this will just be a moment, I'll be back. All right, folks, so we're back. So let's just take a look at this. I'm gonna put it on full screen. The second clip is reversed, so I'm just gonna put it on full screen. Let's see what this looks like. So gold, that's pretty cool. And then it just takes off. So folks, that is how you create rolling text in CapCut PC. I know this was a long one, but these are good skills to learn. I hope you learned some new tricks today. I hope you have a great day. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.